Alright, chat. We back with part 2. Top 10 dark celebrities and real scary coats. Y'all ready, man? I'm ready. Let's get it.
Well, you guys love part 1 of us talking about celebrities and cults, and there are many more we didn't get a chance to talk about. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and today we're counting down part 2 of our list of the top 10 dark celebrities and real scary cults. Coming in at number 10 is Miley Cyrus. Most recently, fans are both worried and convinced that Miley Cyrus has allegedly joined a cult known as the Modern Mystery School. Concerned fans went to TikTok to explain the situation, saying the organization isn't what it seems. It's allegedly an organization that trains healing practitioners in the tradition of the lineage of King Solomon. These healers are encouraged to join sacrifices every year. They sign contracts stating they aren't allowed to tell anybody about it. Now, the main proof for Miley is linked to the multiple times she was seen out with 2 women named Lily and Blue, who are allegedly healers in the organization. Along with that, Miley's lack of social media presence and outings have also been a point of worrisome behavior. Now, nothing has been confirmed, but there is continuous speculation. Number 9. Bethany Joy Lenz. One Tree Hills alum Bethany Joy Lenz is finally ready to speak out about her experience in a cult for 10 years. On an episode of the Drama Queen podcast, she told her former co-stars that she would write about her time in the undisclosed cult. Also, I don't know how much I can say because there are still people and legal things in place that makes it more complicated for the timing of that, but I write all the time, she said. Now, she added that she was a part of this cult the entire time she was on One Tree Hill. I got involved in something that seemed very rote. I grew up in a Christian home where Wednesday night Bible studies were very common. I think that there's a lot of people that can resonate with that, and I just went to another one. I moved to a new state, moved to a new city, and I went to another Wednesday night Bible study, and that's all it ever was to me. But the friendships seemed deeper, more vulnerable somehow as time went on. The person who was brought into the leadership position was sociopathic, and most of us who were involved were in our early 20s, she said. Number 8. Jaden and Willow Smith. Siblings Jaden and Willow Smith have been linked to the
This one, y'all, this one don't surprise me at all. This one don't surprise me at all.
Society for multiple years now, a cult that claims they're a secret society of individuals who create and place organite to balance Gaia's energies per their Instagram. Back in 2014, Willow shared a now archived photo of her, Jaden, and Kylie Jenner. Due to these posts, many people believe that they joined the Osho cult. Now, the organic crystal is closely linked to the cult, notorious for its beliefs about and executing one of the largest bioterrorist attacks in America that infected innocent people with salmonella. Number 7. Megan Marx. Bachelor alum Megan Marx revealed in 2017 that she was brought up in a religious group that banned drinking and watching television, but she stands firm that it wasn't exactly a cult. She told Elle magazine, "I don't like to call it a sect or cult, although many people would regard it as such. Its main purpose was to save individuals from hell, a perspective obviously I disagree with now." On the Kyle and Jackie O show in 2016, Megan explained that she prefers not to use the word cult and instead describes it as a community, which would also just happen to perform exorcisms. In exorcisms, the preacher would put his hand on your head and speak in tongue to get the demons out, she told the radio host. Eventually, Megan made the difficult decision to leave the community and venture off into the real world. "It was difficult to leave the community, but I had thought about it for a while. Having my first drink was hard," she told Kyle and Jackie O. Number 6. Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix, along
Rest in peace, Jackie O.
with his siblings River, Rain, Liberty, and Summer, were raised in Children of God, known as the Family International, where they believed in salvation, spiritual reformation, and the apocalypse of an antichrist. It is a group with an extensive history of making members give up their money and contact with the outside world. Joaquin lived this way for over a decade as his family traveled across South America as missionaries for the Children of God.
Tim Shee's net worth is up to $260 million, and official records show he took his business to the Cayman Islands, where fraudsters go to skip out on paying taxes. No wonder they call him Shady Shee.
God. But around 1974, things started to get a little fishy. The Children of God implemented a form of gospel preaching called flirty fishing, where female members of the cult, or fisherwomen, would persuade men, or fish, to join the community and contribute a charitable donation via intimacy. The practice was the primary source of financial income, and a spike in membership as over tens of thousands of children would be born from these encounters. Now, due to these distorted practices, the family left the group. In a previous interview, Joaquin revealed his parents left soon after he was born, saying, "I think my parents thought they'd found a community that shared their ideas. Cults rarely advertise themselves as such. It's usually someone saying, we're like-minded people, this is a community. But I think the moment my parents realized there was something more to it, they got out." Number 5. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer is a devout believer of Christian Science. It follows many of the same major tenets of other parts of the Christian faith, but also emphasizes the power that prayer can have to aid in physical healing. Its founder, Mary Baker Eddy, said that the faith was designed as a return to primitive Christianity and its lost element of healing. Now, the religious group is prolific for their metaphysical practices, such as a connection to the divine mind and the idea that all problems could be cured with the right mindset. Yeah. Now, in January 2015, Val was hospitalized with a possible tumor after denying that he had been diagnosed with cancer. In his memoir, Val also told the story of how he managed some of his worst health crises and the surprising role that Cher played in his treatment. He was staying at Cher's guest house as his health declined. "One night, I suddenly awoke vomiting blood that covered the bed like a scene out of The Godfather. I prayed immediately, then called 911, then alerted my hostess. Cher stepped in and stepped up," Val wrote. Now, it wasn't until April 2017, after suffering needlessly for 2 years, that he stated he experienced healing from his cancer due to his affiliation with the cult. Number 4. Kira Maguire. Bachelor alum Kira Maguire was also born into a cult, a polygamous cult called the Seaside that was founded by her father. He was a New Zealand police officer before fleeing his home country and migrating to Australia in the 1970s. He changed his name, reinvented himself, and quickly started amassing a following after becoming a self-styled messiah. But in August 2000, her father was found guilty of committing 21 offenses. He was sentenced to 7 years and 6 months in jail, but died towards the end of his sentence. Speaking about it, she said, "I didn't know who my mom was until I was 5. It sounds strange, but it just is what it is. I didn't even have birthdays," she said in 2016 after the story broke. "I think I had my first birthday when I was 7. For other people, it might be really sad, but it's not because it's my story." Number 3. Angel Hayes. The Detroit-based rapper was raised in the Pentecostal Greater Apostolic Faith commune. When Angel was young, their mother met a preacher in the Greater Apostolic Faith, and the two moved into his home with his wife and children in what Angel describes as a cult. Growing up in the church, they witnessed violence and manipulation at a very young age. Angel also recalled being told that they would die spontaneously if they did not behave correctly. In an interview with The Guardian, Angel said, "We all lived in the same community within 10 minutes of each other. You weren't allowed to talk to anyone outside of that. You weren't allowed to wear jewelry, listen to music, to eat certain things, to date people. You weren't allowed to pretty much do anything. Church was on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. When they did revivals, it was every day. I used to just crawl under the bench and try to sleep." Now, fortunately, when Angel was 15, they escaped from the church's clutches after their mother fell out with its leaders and they moved to New York City. Number 2. Toni Braxton. In her Unbreak My Heart memoir, the famous R&B singer revealed that
this one right here, this one surprised me. I never thought Toni Braxton would be in a cult.
she joined Pillar of Truth, a Pentecostal apostate group, with her family as a young girl. She said her family fell into religious extremism where women and their names had to be covered up in full and almost everything was considered evil.
She better watch out. She better not be hanging out with Birdman. Birdman like kissing boys. Birdman like kissing boys. She better not be hanging out with Birdman too much.
Including going to the movies. Members of the Pillar or Truth
maybe she ain't gotta worry. No, she ain't trying to be in a relationship with him. He like kissing boys.
Congregation weren't allowed to listen to their music, including in public places like roller skating rinks, watch movies, celebrate holidays, and drink, as written by Tony. Disobeying any of the regulations meant going to hell. She described pretending to speak in tongues in order to fit in at the church and indicate that she was saved, which was considered evidence that the congregants were ready for the rapture to come. We're ready for the rapture to come to earth at any moment and send the spiritually deserving to heaven. She did this for 8 years, which I just can't even imagine. Her one escape was singing in the church's children's choir, the Sunshine Band. Now people took notice of her excellent singing voice and began to compare her to sound of that of Anita Baker as she got older. And coming in at number 1 is John Travolta. Actor John Travolta has been a member of the Church of Scientology since
Anita
1975.
Baker,
Scientology has variously been defined as a cult, a business, or a new religious movement. Now John had a son named Jet, and on January 2nd, 2009, Jet died at age 16 while on a Christmas vacation in the Bahamas. A Bohemian death certificate was issued attributing the cause of death to a seizure. Jet, who had a history of seizures, reportedly suffered from Kawasaki disease since the age of 2. It's alleged that John withheld meds from Jet due to Scientology. In July 2019, Jet's passing made headlines again after Samantha Domingo, Placido Domingo's daughter-in-law and former Scientologist, shared some details about it. According to Samantha, one of the church's VIP members for 22 years, Travolta hopped into the ambulance transporting Jet's body to the hospital and tried to bring him back to life. In a desperate attempt to bring Jet back to life, Travolta supposedly did what Samantha described as a bring back to life assist, meaning that he ordered Jet's spirit to return to his body. His attempt failed, and John's youngest son Ben was born almost 2 years after Jet passed away. And Samantha claims that the family believes Jet's spirit was in Ben. Well, that's all for part 2 of our list of the top 10 dark celebrities and real scary cults. Did anyone in our list shock you? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, one that shocked me was Toni Braxton. I never seen that one. I love Toni Braxton too. She makes some good music too, for real. Yeah, I don't sleep on my Canadian girl neither though, Deborah Cox. That's good she wasn't on here. That would have really shocked the hell out of me, boy. Hope I don't see one of them. But that was some good ones, man. I hope y'all appreciated that, man. Y'all enjoyed that. All that good stuff, man. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. I'll catch y'all on the next one.